Hi, my name is Yuxi. I'm a Chinese Canadian living in the US. I am culture designer. My project is called Open Sight. It stands for Open Eyes. It was a project for immigrant children in Manhattan's Chinatown. I co-founded it with two friends in college. We saw that there was a need for cultural exposure and soft skill development in the population that this elementary school served. It was 90% or more immigrant Chinese children, and they didn't have a lot of resources from their family and schools to experience anything much outside of their neighborhood. Our first initial motivation to start this school was actually from our own experience of learning about social emotional learning through Dr. Ellen McGrath's course in college. She taught us the importance of being self-aware, the ability to regulate emotions, especially tough emotions. Everybody carries difficult feelings and traumas from experiences, but without recognizing and showing and sharing them with others, it just kind of builds up, and that leads to other issues in life, such as depression and violent behavior. So for us, we were very lucky to have had that experience, the education to know during a very critical time of our life to be equipped with the skill to cope with those. And we thought about our childhood and how much better we would have been if we had these skills earlier on. So we went to visit a school in Chinatown, and we didn't really know what to expect. But when we asked the children just about their immigration experience, similar to ours, what did you like the most about America? One of the boys just shouted, "Electricity." And when we heard that, we were shocked. There's so much more to like about New York City, and we realized clearly there's something that we could do here. Just by being able to access all the different art shows and the parks, and having resources from the school to provide us with cheaper tickets to see different Broadway shows, we have been able to experience a wealth that these children cannot. And so we wanted to at least bring the resources that we have and create it into arts and cultural experiences for these children so that they could grow up knowing different cultures. And that was the first stage of the workshop. After 2 years of doing arts and crafts, we also wanted to blend in more of the socio-emotional pieces of our own lessons. And how we did that was through skits. So we ran different play-based role-playing scenarios in front of the classroom. We had volunteers play out different characters. So for example, we did one on bullying in the schoolyard. So we had a volunteer play the bully and some other children playing bystanders and also the victim. And we asked the children to come up and play the different characters and then share how they felt and how do they think is the best way to respond. And through those different types of experiences and discussions, we were able to hear the children's voices on feelings. They were able to tell us, oh, they felt angry, they felt hurt, and gaining that vocabulary was just step one. The most challenging part was actually knowing how to help the children to progress the next step. So our workshops on culture and experiential screens, plays, we were able to help them become more expressive and more aware of their feelings. But when they did express, started sharing very difficult things that were happening, for example, like abuse at home. We were still college students, so we didn't really have all the experience and skills back then to really help them think about how to cope with them. So that is a challenge that I am constantly thinking about today, and that's something that I really want to develop a new solution, kind of pivot and innovate on what we had before and make it a more comprehensive solution so that the children can go from step 1 to step 2. I would have to say, to be honest, we found it challenging because we didn't really have the experience yet. So although it was challenging, we believe very firmly in the importance of helping every child become self-aware and gain the ability to regulate emotions. Having experienced a lack of the skills that I have today to help myself cope with difficulties, I realized that this is a life skill. It is not like math or English, which are also very critical for becoming your full potential, but the ability to be socially and emotionally intelligent can really help a child progress further in life, be able to work as a team, to connect with people authentically, to really build genuine connections and ask for help when they need it. That's so critical, and very, very seldomly do children really feel safe to ask for help or know the right ways to express their issues. And so I think for us, it's a project about the mission is to empower. The mission is to empower the children with the vocabulary and the confidence and the self-regulation skills to make them happy and help them be able to persevere when there's difficulties, and to believe and have hope that they can do it by themselves and by asking help when the time is needed. My ultimate goal in life is to help every child to be happy. Being happy means to me 2 important things. One is the first step, the foundation, is having accepted him or herself as truly who they are. Despite all of the sadness and the difficulties they may have experienced in life, they're still okay with everything that life has given them, and they can articulate the emotions they are feeling and be able to share with them, with the loved ones, to actually form connections and relationships that are very meaningful. And the second piece of that is having a sense of purpose. Purpose leads to meaning, and once a child or a young adult or an older adult knows what his life or her life is for, then everything they do becomes imbued with a deeper level of meaning, and that meaning leads to happiness. So my goal really is to provide the tools and the space and the support that children today in this very unstable and always changing digitally, politically, everything, environmentally world, to be equipped with the toolkits to accept themselves and find their purpose and feel confident that they can make the world a better place with just being themselves and going after their dreams. We're better together.